Becky. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I'm sure. Well, I'm a mother of three. I'm a junior in school into the new program, and I've just been really struggling a lot with trying to manage, and it's been causing a lot of anxiety for me trying to get through school, and I also work full time
Mhm.
on top of going to school full time and then having three kids.
Mhm.
And, I'm also a guardian of my son, which he is incapacitated, so which makes it even more difficult because I have to do extra running
Mhm.
on the side of trying to concentrate on all my projects. And I just feel like my anxiety is really bad and I'm just not organized.
Yeah. No, I can totally understand where you're really stressed, and I'm sure that's a lot. So I'm really happy that you came in today. Before we get started with our session, I just want to go over a couple things with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so I know that you had signed like the consent services for like your medical records and all that stuff, but I wanted to go over a few things with confidentiality. So everything you say in here is just going to be between us. I'm not going to be sharing it with anyone else. Although there are a couple of scenarios where I would need to tell somebody as I'm a mandated reporter. One of those situations is if I'm afraid that you're going to hurt yourself and that you're putting yourself in danger, or that if someone else is going to be in danger, then I would need to report those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Okay, perfect. And then also, so I understand that there's a little bit of like an age difference between us. I just want to make sure that you're comfortable in this setting and that you feel like this is going to be what's right for you.
Yeah, I do. I feel comfortable talking to you.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure that that's all set. So then moving forward, so just tell me a little bit more about yourself. So you said that you're in a new program. What program are you a part of?
I'm part of the social work program,
Okay.
the bachelor's program right now. My goal is to go to my master's degree and enter the master's program.
That's really exciting. What are you going for?
Well, I want to major in psychology, but my desire is to help juvenile corrections or crisis work.
Mm-hmm.
My son kind of experienced, he really inspired me as far as wanting to do that type of work, which I know that alone can be stressful too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's basically what my goals are. It's just trying to achieve those goals productively.
Yeah. Well, that's super exciting. You have some awesome goals set for yourself. That's really exciting to hear. So would you mind sharing a little bit more in depth about why you're here today?
I just feel like I'm really having a hard time managing the schedule as a whole. Like deep down, I know that I really need to cut back, especially this next coming semester, especially with my work schedule, because I currently am casual. I sign up for my own hours, but it's like I need that income along with I need to focus on school. And then lately, I've just been getting a lot of emergency calls due to my son, but I also have two other children that I have to give attention to too. So it's basically my anxiety is really high. Trying to manage all of this, I feel like I'm failing at managing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely understand where you're probably pretty stressed right now. So do you kind of feel like you're being pulled in a few different directions and your attention and time is kind of being divided up, but there's maybe not enough time for things? And um, does that sound about right?
Yeah, it does. I feel more overwhelmed than everything. I feel like I'm not giving enough attention to my other two children, especially my daughter. She's only 10 years old. She's at the age, where I feel like she really needs her mom, but she's also understanding that mom's in school. So, I mean, I have a very supportive husband where he really, he's very encouraging. He takes her places. He does things that with her to occupy her, which is great. But I always feel like there's that lack there where I know she needs me too. So it's more of an overwhelming feeling, like where I feel like, okay, I've got this, and there's no, I just feel like I should be prioritizing a little more.
Yeah, I can see where you're just overwhelmed, like you said. So do you think, or do you feel that you're getting enough help with your kids?
Yes and no. It's difficult because my husband does work out of town, so there are times where I have an enormous amount of calls coming in, and I feel like I'm being pulled in every direction. And then I end up staying up until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because I have all the schoolwork to do that I have to complete. And some of the assignments I have to make sure that they're posted, by a certain time. So
Yeah.
it's more like me feeling overwhelmed with I feel like I need to be here and I need to be here and I need to be here, and there just isn't enough time in the day for that. So it's more like me trying to say to people like, okay, I'm only one person. I can only do, option A and B, not C, D, and E.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I just want to try to manage a little better and maybe come up with a different calendar
Mm-hmm.
to manage this. So, just try to reduce some of that overwhelming feeling and anxiety.
So I hear you mentioning anxiety a lot, and it's just this really, you're anxious and you're stressed and you're overwhelmed. Now I know that you said that you have kids and you have your job. You said that you're married too and you're in school.
Mm-hmm.
So do you take time just for yourself? Are you able to delegate some just personal time just for you?
Unfortunately, no. I have not taken time for myself, which I think is one of the main problems.
So you think that maybe if you were able to allocate some time for yourself during the week, that would lower your stress? Do you think that would help?
I think it would definitely help, and I know my husband has really stressed that you need to take time for you too and have that self-care aspect.
Yeah. So if your husband's in agreement with you, have you guys been able to kind of work together with all of this? And maybe is he able to answer some of those crisis calls? Is he someone who is able to do that? Or is he not able to leave work? Is it something that is just easier for you?
Well, I'm more at home than what he is. He actually works in Marinette.
Okay.
So he commutes. So he is secondary guardian on my son through the court system. So, he can allocate for some of that when he's able to. But I think this stems from me being single at one point. We've only been married for 3 years.
Okay.
So, and I've always just kind of taken the bull by the horns and just did it. Just very independent. And, I think that's maybe an issue that I've got to let some of that go, though, to help. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think that if you were able to, keep your independence, but maybe seek out more help in areas where maybe you wouldn't have to leave school all the time for certain things, or maybe you'd be able to allocate, time for just yourself. Do you think that there's resources, places for that? Do you think that your husband in certain situations would be able to come back from Marinette maybe, every once in a while to take some of those crisis calls to kind of give you a little bit more wiggle room? Do you think that that's a possibility?
I think that might be a possibility.
Okay. So I hear you saying overall just you're overwhelmed, you're pulled in a lot of different directions. You have school and you have kids, you have, a newer marriage. And so with all of this, I think going forward, do you think that you can maybe try and kind of come up with, maybe you mentioned like a new calendar, so kind of looking at your schedule, looking at your, your daily schedule to your, your whole week schedule. Do you think that that's something that would help to maybe kind of revisit all of those areas and see where there is time for you, or maybe where there is time to put more study time in, or that time to spend just with your daughter, to give her that time that maybe she's needing from you? Do you think that would help?
I do. It's just trying to decide how to manage it.
Yeah. Is your calendar, your schedule, is it something that you've revisited lately at all, or have you just kind of been in a jumble and you've just been kind of getting through every day?
Honestly, I've been in a jumble. I haven't even looked at it. I think that, I've been so overwhelmed that I didn't even take the time to look at the calendar.
Do you think that if you think that that's something that's going to help, do you think maybe if you're willing to come in and meet with me again, that you can kind of get an idea of what your calendar is going to be like, and then maybe we can look at it together for our next session? Is that something that you'd be interested in?
Yes, it would, because I think it would really help.
Yeah. I think that would be a really awesome step for you, just knowing that you do have a lot of different things going on, and they're all important things, and so but I think, like you said, that self-care is going to be really important, and so hopefully we can try and find some time in there for you just to spend with yourself, and also be, you giving time to the things that you need to give time to. Um, so then going forward, would you like to make another appointment? Is that something you're comfortable with, or?
Yes, definitely. I would love to make another appointment.
Okay, awesome. Well, this is coming to the end of our session, and so we can schedule another appointment, and then I would love to see you again.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, of course. Bye, Becky.